And here we go. Welcome, everyone. We're getting ready for our second game of round six. It's gonna be ADD versus Troglodytes today. And I'm here together with Rox, who jumped in last minute. Thank you, Rox. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, I'm interested, especially seeing the rosters that are playing today. I think there have been some changes, especially to the last week. So I'm interested in it to see how that affects, especially like draft um of both teams and how they both deal with. Because as I'm pretty sure that ADD just signed up a new support, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
So we'll go into the lineup for a second. ADD don't have a new mid laner, but they changed their name today. That's
then that
yeah.
might
So
be
it's
it.
it's not a
Okay,
new player. It's still
sure.
the same
Gotcha.
mid
Then
laner
I
that's gonna
got you
play.
baited. God damn it.
Yeah,
But yeah, and for Troglodytes, I know Timmy has played in top before, but I noticed that last week he was playing solely in jungle.
yeah,
Um, I think their bot lane and support is staying the same. But Krianos or Titas is switching to mid again. So I'm
yeah.
interested
Indeed.
to see how if they can take that to their own advantage.
Yeah. So Timsy back in top lane. We saw a switch after week one, where Titas was gonna play in top lane. Um, and I think that was a really good switch, to be honest, because Timsy hadn't looked that hot in the top lane, and
I mean,
he
yeah,
has
Teamsy
been
hasn't.
so on fire in the jungle. So I'm curious to know why they decided to switch up their positions. But I
Hmm.
am uh, told that Krinas, aka Titas, has found a higher elo team which he's gonna play for, and that's gonna make him a substitute in the past. So maybe they're already switching around, expecting Titas not to be around anymore. And Stiebe is used to playing in the mid lane as well. So yeah, what do you
Sorry,
expect
had.
from Stiebe in the jungle?
I haven't seen him play that much, to be honest. I think. Timsy, I know he's a pretty solid top player that can both carry, but also get frustrated pretty quickly if the game's not going into their team's direction. Um, and and Titas, I mean, I've seen some of his mid champions, some of his mid plays. I'm not that convinced yet, but maybe that this is the time to show it off, you know?
Exactly. And moving on to the bot lane there, Hainu and Shuxi, they've been solid. Um, but apparently I get the information that Haino is not gonna be playing in the bot lane. If I'm correct, it's gonna be uh, Biscuit, Biscatolic or something.
Ah, then
I'll
it then that must be a last second change, I guess.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, they did say that.
there's a last minute
Hmm.
emergency for Haino. So we're gonna see Biscuitolik, um,
I mean, I'm
which
really am hopeful that they did at least play a few games together because Heino and Shuxi did honestly have a pretty good synergy as far as I could tell. Um, Shuxi also being a Zyra enthusiast, such as myself, if I'm not mistaken.
mhm,
And
yeah.
Heino also usually playing pretty solid, so we'll see what this sub brings into the play today.
Yeah, and it's gonna be good to see to hear your point of view on it because I do think as Shuxi and you share a lot of champion
Oh yeah,
pool things, so
yeah.
we'll get a good insight on
I
what the
mean, we'll
matchups will be.
see what he picks and what ADD lets him to pick, how much they let him cook in the bot lane.
Yeah,
Uh, But yeah, I am definitely interested to see someone that's like also trying to be creative in the bot lane.
Exactly. She is up against a formidable opponent, though. We're moving into ADG and looking at their squad. They have finally secured their first victory. Sadly, we weren't able to see it, but yeah, I was really happy for them because, in my opinion, that's the team that has shown the most growth throughout the tournament. So I'm so excited to watch them play today. What do you expect from them?
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I did not watch many of their games, but seeing how they just won how they're coming off of a win with 2 versus 1 against the McDonald's Freedom Fighters, which, to be completely frank, is a pretty solid team. I am really surprised with their development, and I'm just hoping to see more of that.
Mhm. Um, I think they showed the most growth when Crooker came in, and he's gonna be, as usual, the
Oh
shot
yeah, I've
caller.
I've seen some of those plays. I've seen the Jarvan and the Hecarim, the horsey horse.
The
Um,
horsey horse.
and yeah, no, I think that's maybe what the team needed. A really, on one side, maybe really proactive jungler. On the other side, also a really fast farming jungler that can come to lanes as quickly as possible and make as much impact as possible to try and get the lanes ahead. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how the team develops so far. I'm
Are
not sure.
you looking forward to the most?
Uh, On one side, really the bot lane matchup. Um, on the other hand, it's really hard for me to say simply because of the both role switches as well as player switches in excuse me,
No
both
worries.
roles, yeah, in Troglodyte. So I'll I won't say too much before we see the first game slowly unwinding. Um, because I think it's simply so hard to predict, not knowing how much they practice together, how many times they've gone through such a team composition, such roles, and maybe what do they have, in the back pocket.
Mm-hmm. Oof. Okay, it's gonna be an exciting match. I think, honestly, that these teams are so well matched up against one another. I think it's gonna be a really fair matchup, and we're gonna be looking forward. Any champions that you predict will be coming out in the mid lane, for
Um,
example? I know Titas isn't usually playing in the mid lane, but do you
I've
have an idea?
seen Titus play a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised if he brings out an AD mid laner, such as, for example, Yone or Yasuo, maybe.
Mm,
I'm interested in how the team plays around it. Where do they then get their AP damage, their magic damage? Is it gonna be jungler going something like Lilia or Maokai? Or is it gonna be, I don't know, maybe the top lane or the support role trying to compensate for that if he decides to go for an AD mid? So yeah, a lot of question marks. I'm not saying it's not gonna work out, but I am really interested to see what they planned for us, basically.
yeah. Um, Other than that, also in the top lane, King Timsy back on top. We've seen him play Shen and such, so I'm assuming that we'll see him go back to more the tank style top laners, which puts a lot of emphasis on their bot lane, which is, if I'm not mistaken, part of uh, ADD's playstyle as well. So
Yes.
I'm assuming that both junglers and even mid laners might look towards bot lane to maybe have a fiesta down there.
Yeah, I mean, I have looked at some of their previous reps specifically for ADD, and yes, they definitely have a more traditional approach to the game in the sense of like drafting a scaling ADC, such as, for example, Jinx or something similar, and just trying to stay afloat till the late game, or even trying to get ahead with some risky or even I don't know, maybe they're genius jungle plays. Um, but yeah, they are definitely leaning more towards a front to back team fighting style. So yeah, we'll see how these two styles. If my predictions that Trienza tries to go for a carry mid um, pan out. But I'm not promising anything.
Yeah, well, sadly, we will have a small delay before the game can start. Um, I've added 4 minutes to the clock, but that gives us a bit of time to reflect on where we are right now with the Sunday Cup and to look a bit at the holistic view of what the Sunday Cup has brought so far. And so I've changed to the standings and the other matchups of the week. What are you most surprised about seeing this?
Um,
What is
you
the
know,
thought that comes to mind?
I, I mean, I'll be speaking mostly from my team's perspective in this case because I haven't looked at it too objectively. But the top four spots, I'd say, or the top three spots seem pretty stable for now, but I think we are getting to. So I think on Sunday, we, the premium esports gamers, are playing against CBS, and I think that's gonna resolve a lot of the top three spots. And then I
Mhm.
think we also have a CBS and support diff matchup coming up in the following weeks, if not
Yeah.
next week.
So yesterday we saw a match already. It was Team Papier versus McDonald's Freedom Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
A hard-fought battle in the first game for sure. But towards the second and definitely the end of the third game, Team Mental Papier came out on top strongly, and they've cemented themselves at a 4-2. So they are clearly splitting themselves off of the lower um, part of this competition, and that brings them as many wins as you guys with premium esports gaming.
True. I was just gonna say that I think the middle of the pack is the most interesting right now as we're coming to almost over the half of the first round of Robin.
Yeah, we're closing in
And yeah, and
on the
it's
end.
really showing how some teams have stayed relatively stagnant or just really had some unlucky games that put them a point behind, whereas some teams have really started to prosper and started gaining momentum. So, in the sense, don't take my word for it that the top three is gonna stay the same. I am expecting some teams to try and contest those three spots or
Hmm.
the top four spots. Um, but yeah, I think it's shaping up nicely, and I think some teams really are working towards the future more so than you know uh, being brought down by their losses so far.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, you should have gotten an invite from the
Oh,
Sunday Cup.
yeah, no, I'll be watching from the live stream just so we avoid the time delay.
Okay, all good, as you wish.
Yeah.
Oh, but we can't avoid it, huh? In any case, we'll be
I
talking
mean,
a
there
lot.
are gonna be a slight delay, but it's better than me starting up my client as well. So
Yeah,
that's how we
Swedish.
did it last time.
Okay, all good. So the timer has hit 0, but the
The teams are
teams
still
are not
preparing.
ready yet. We're waiting for 2 more players, and then we can get into game.
Yeah, I mean, tell me more about it. What bans do you maybe expect? Do you think they're gonna go for a more general approach, either of the teams, or do you think there's some specific bans that either of the teams has to watch out for?
So I can't recall anymore if you talked about the Zac in the jungle for ADD.
Yes, that
I
was.
think that's gonna be a big one indeed. Um, and then in the mid lane,
Although they did change the jungler, right? So I'm not sure.
but I'm talking for ADD. Yeah?
Oh
ADD,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But it's gonna be a contested pick. Also, it's possible that she played Zac in the middle in the mid lane that 1 week. Was it that
Was
she? I'm not.
this?
Chat,
They,
do you recall who
I
it
I
was?
I'm oh, you would have to press me for it, but I think it was actually, was it Troglodytes, or am I completely off the mark right now? I know one team played Zac mid and it went pretty pretty sadly. It's
Mm,
pretty badly. um so I mean, maybe they try to pull it out again, but I'm really can't recall which team that was.
yeah, it slips my mind as well. But anyway, I still think Zac is gonna be a contested pick. Other than that, you mentioned the Jinx for the bot lane, um,
Yeah.
and I think mid lane, since I would assume Titas or Krinas will indeed play a more safe, a more AD style mid laner. I'm
Mhm.
assuming that mid lane is going to be a volatile lane, and
Yeah, so in that case, it really is a question: do you ban that Jinx just to be safe? That if you don't get ahead in the early or till mid game, are you really willing to risk that solid Jinx from Totti?
mm,
Um,
Biscuit Solik is a new face though. I do not recall him already playing a game. I know he's been a sub for Troglodytes for a while, but it's gonna be the first time I see him playing. And I'm not aware of his level. Maybe you can look it up for a second. The
yes.
level of Biscuitolik. He does seem like a person that will really carry this happy style, this positive attitude that we know troglodytes to play with. There's always good vibes, unless, of course, real life happens. As by the way, we know now that the reason we have a delay is because of life happens stuff. Yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
just waiting for one more player, who
That's
is running towards her PC. Um, but she came from another place.
okay. So
And
stat update on Biscuitolic. It's as far as ranked solo go, it's a bronze 2 player. Um, and as far as champions go, it's pretty interesting, to be honest. We have Aphelios, Jhin, Ashe, Kai'Sa, some Caitlyn, so um, it's a pretty broad pool, both as far as early game and as far as scaling goes. I really don't want to see Jhin unless they really want to stomp the early game, because I just believe that Jhin right now is a bit of a pitfall as a champion.
mm,
Um, but besides that, I can't say much more.
yeah, but that's already a solid base to look forward to. Um, so while we're waiting, we did put up a nice vote in the chat. Let us know who you think will take the first game. While you are voting on the poll in the chat, we will look at the predictions we've got. Now that we have the prediction channel up to date again. In the predictions, we see 1 to 5 vote. Troglodytes is, according to Discord, very much in favor to take home the victory. What is your prediction, actually?
This is one of the hardest ones, I think. On one hand, I think Troglodytes should be a stronger team, but it's a bit unfair to say that I'll say my prediction after the first game, or maybe after the draft. Let's say that's kind of fair. But I also wouldn't be surprised if ADD really puts up a strong fight, or maybe even takes home the win, based on their actual last few performances. So I don't know. Do you feel inclined to say?
No, I think you're absolutely right with not knowing the answer. Especially since we didn't see them play last week, and I know that ADD have been steadily improving game after game. I have no idea where to rate this with the role swaps coming in from Troglodytes, with the strong performances from ADD.
Sorry to cut you off. We just got an update that Sibe is actually Dutchy, and he also changed his name, so he's back into the jungle on the side of Troglodytes.
Yes, Sibe is indeed Dutchy with way too many Ys. We're still wondering how long it will take him to change his name in game. If he pleases, of course, it's up to him. Maybe he just likes it. It's always, yeah, I know, it was always Dutchy. Actually, Sibe, while you're in chat, you should blame your captain, because it's your captain who gave the squad names like this. Would you prefer to change it?
Okay. We got some fun going on in the chat.
Exactly. And also in the getting ready lobby, Titas calling out that it's a long 2 minutes that have passed. Yeah, but
okay, but knowing this is Dutchy, yes, again, I wouldn't be surprised, because he is known for his Maokai. So I really wouldn't be surprised if the Troglodytes decide to pull out something like Yon mid and Maokai jungle, and then try to patch the team theme around it. Because I think that's quite a good combo, mid and jungle.
Something like this, no, Sibe? Dutchy? Yeah, it's gonna be a potent duo, those two. So Dutchy has played mid lane mostly, no? Is Dutchy the Kiana player, or is that's Storm? I think I mess up Storm and Dutchy.
No, Dutchy really likes to play jungle.
Oh, okay, and I didn't know. Well, he's a Silas player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think yes, he did play a few games of Silas in the mid lane, I think, at some points in the tournament. But I guess he's also back to his main role. So yeah, I really don't know what they're doing with their rosters.
Yeah,
but that is life.
We will also see a whole lot of roster changes coming up in the near future, I suppose, since some things have changed. Like I said about Titas, but here and there, the season is been long. It's been quite a while that we've been playing, 6 weeks now, and yeah, we start to see life happening for many people.
Yeah, but I think it's also natural as the league develops to see what players fit with what team, who doesn't fit, and so on and so forth. So I think it's fair to.
Yeah,
Uh,
and also this gives not of course it's sad to see people go, but it also gives opportunity to new players to come in and to show what they've got.
exactly, that's a great segue. People, sign up to the Discord, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and so on.
Yeah, we're still getting ready.
Yes, sorry to all the viewers. We have still a bit of a delay.
Yeah, but the viewers can have fun. Let us know what you think of the game. Let us know how you see this match unfolding.
Yeah, give us some champion predictions. I would love to see that.
The Fnatic ball is already in place even before the game started. Yeah, love to see it. But the vibes are good. Everyone is chilling. Everyone is ready. Everyone is uh,
Yeah, everyone's
looking
having
forward to it.
everyone's having a great time. That's the point.
Yeah. So you guys are playing on Sunday, aren't you?
Yes, we are. We are. So I am the support of the team PEG, and yes, we're playing on Sunday against CBS, the
Yeah.
top of the leaderboard.
You did have a bit of a player swap as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did have some roster changes, not nothing new, more of a substitute suddenly leaving for some real life issues. Hopefully he will come up soon again, as soon as things resolve, or
Yeah, we wish him the
things.
best for sure.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for it. I think it's gonna be a. I mean, just based on the statistics, it should be a pretty difficult matchup for us. But I hope we can at least, if nothing else, just being really humble here, just give a good showing, um, and show that maybe, even if we lose, we still deserve the top four, top five spots. Uh, but
What
on
will
the
you do?
other,
Do you have a plan, an idea, without giving anything away, of course?
I mean, we have tried off some, spicy picks because that's kind of our style. But
Uh, Fluffy in chat. Yeah, the game has started. It's been going on for
okay.
17 minutes. We're just chilling. We prefer to just talk about other things. We're waiting for someone
No,
to.
Mr. Fluffy, we are still waiting for some players, sadly.
Yes. So yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but do you see yourself taking a game?
Um, I think it's possible. It's definitely a possibility. Keeping in mind that CBS has not yet lost a single game, not just best of three, but a single game, it is going to be difficult. I think they are definitely deservedly in the number, or sharing the number one spot in the leaderboards right now. But yeah, as said, I think we do have a chance. Um, and I think we will definitely make the best of it.
Yeah. So as we are closing in on the start of the game, hopefully, uh, yeah, it's a delay disaster. We see the player joining now, and we're getting ready. So that will be the end of our poll, and with all the votes being in, we see troglodytes having the majority of the votes. Looks like people are expecting ADD to go down on this one.
Um, I mean, we talked about it both. I also don't trust our chat because they like to be biased sometimes. Not that they're always wrong. I think, I mean, we don't have a statistic on that, but I think in most cases they were correct. At least the majority. But I still think, you know, let's see what happens. It's not over till the Nexus is closed.
Exactly, and yeah, but that's a good point you brought up. Actually, that many upsets we haven't seen yet.
I think we actually, sadly, the last week, which wasn't recorded because we had some technical issues, and we also upgraded our whole streaming side of things. But I think last week was one of the most upsets we got, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, one of them being ADD upsetting McDonald's Freedom Fighters, who we saw play yesterday.
Yeah.
Who have battled strong. I feel like McDonald's Freedom Fighters is like the team to beat. If you want to be a good team, you have to beat McDonald's Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, at the moment they definitely are like a gatekeeper to the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
If
Okay, so we are in draft apparently, and yeah, it helps of course if I do everything that I need to do to get ready. Yes, online sync, blah blah blah. Wait, let me just
take your time.
This is my very first time.
We are not in a rush.
And we missed actually the entire band phase. My apologies, streamers. But we do see the Xayah locked in.
Ah.
Is it locked in? Yeah, it's locked in.
Yes, it is locked in. And we do see the Jinx and the Maokai band. So now I'm curious what happens. We have a Xayah, which is a pretty safe pick. It does scale, you know, middle of the road kind of thing. Oh, yeah. And now we might have an Elise coming up, which is...
I think the Elise is locked in, yes.
And this Elise definitely would be scary if it literally is locked in for Dutchy. And it is locked in.
And while we didn't see the bans being banned, but yeah, we did see that Zac coming out. Also, the Jax ban, which is fairly interesting to me as well, because that suggests that the top laner does not want to deal with this all around split pushing threat.
Oh, and we see the AD jungler really thinking about going Jarvan, which might mean a really explosive early game, as we see Jarvan against Elise, both trying to get the early leads as they start falling off the longer the game goes on, especially Elise. So this is definitely going to be an interesting game number 1.
Thank you for notifying us, Buffy. Indeed, very interesting. And like we actually said before we got into game, as we got ready for this game, it does suggest a very bot-focused matchup. And they've always told me if you don't gank with Jarvan, then you're doing Jarvan wrong. So, and Elise is potentially one of the best divers in the game.
Yes, it is. I mean, her only role is to try to gank as much as possible, get off as much CC, as many kills as possible, and try to just get her lanes to just steamroll the team before she becomes obsolete.
Yes.
And
exactly.
Okay, so we have Tarek in support.
Are you not proficient?
Yes,
on that?
I do like to play Tarek. I'm just a bit puzzled because on one hand it is a good answer into the ADD support,
Into Leona, yeah.
Yes, as a follow-up stun. On the other hand, I'm not sure it's the best combination with Caitlyn, simply because Caitlyn always wants to have the push, wants to have preferably even an enchanter that keeps her safe and can help her out with the push, such as let's say Lux or Lulu. But Taric
Who would you say that has the push in this bot lane matchup?
definitely the Caitlyn, simply because of
Mm.
her range. And the Taric does keep her safe from the all-in threat of Leona.
Mm.
But I
So we went into the second ban phase, and maybe ADD was listening to the stream because they banned Dutchy Silas, which since this season is a potential jungler, but
that
we
is
already
true.
have the Elise.
Jungler.
So yeah, with two mid laners being banned, we see Choke God being locked in. And I am one of the biggest fans of playing random wacky shit that you're just good at. So I would love to see this Cho'Gath going anywhere but top, uh, and seeing maybe a Taric flex somewhere. But yeah, if we're being honest, I'm assuming that Cho'Gath will be the top laner for Troglodytes. And who do you want to see
Yes.
against that?
Um, um, I'm not sure on what the ADD's top laner plays, but something like Fiora might be interesting in this. Oh, and they're going completely crazy. So we might actually see
That
what's
will be either Cassio top or Nico top.
it
Cassio
had.
top seems a bit more logical, um, but
Oh, but
with the
against Aurelia, I think
yeah,
Cassio actually makes more sense in mid.
yeah, I think so too. And what I notice most is both these teams have a lot of CC in their kit.
Yes. I
So at the moment, it does look like Cassio will be the top laner,
oh
and
wow.
ADD has chosen to put Nico mid, and then I'm guessing it's against yes, Titas, Krinas, Irelia.
Yeah.
He's a really good Irelia. If
Yeah.
this game goes late, he will be a big problem to deal with. Luckily, like you mentioned, Cassio is a
Does
good counter into
does
it.
counter into it? Yeah, but mm, I think a lot of it is gonna hang on what the junglers do in the first 5 minutes. Are
Mm,
they able to uh who's able to gank first? Which lane do they go for? Uh do you help out Zaya against the Caitlyn? Do you try to get your mid laner ahead, your top laner ahead? It's definitely gonna be an interesting matchup, and I'm really not sure. I think it just based on the draft, it's a really you know on the edge of a knife matchup. It can go either way.
so there is this really nice stuff that has been put up by our lovely production team, but sadly I am not good at prepping all of this. And as I am trying to figure out this production side of things, um, oh, hi, Robert.
Oh, we have some help.
Yes, I think it's gonna be fine, in the sense that how do we do the rune thingy?
I'll quickly see if I.
No, not yet. Oh, and we're back. Hello, guys.
Yes. Okay. So technical difficulties have been solved, and we're now ready to watch the game.
I think the in-game audio is still a bit loud.
It's loud, yeah. No worries.
A little bit.
There we go. Is it better now?
Yeah, I think it's better. Should be better.
Okay.
Otherwise, the chat's gonna correct us.
Yeah.
But yeah, as predicted, like we see some really early plays. I think the jungle invade by the ADD was insane, to be honest. And that's
so sad that we didn't get to see it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Elise got ambushed on her blue and died. And then we had a solo kill on top, actually, with Timsy killing killing our Snake Queen. I'm sorry, I'm so bad with champion names. I'm just making them up at this point.
Good. I think Snake Queen is a good representation.
And now we have a fight. So
getting another kill in the mid lane as well.
Yes, and
really living with 1 HP almost, and yeah. Furthermore, what we've seen is Jarvan did get 2 kills, which is good. You want to see an active early game jungler.
I mean, you would be happier if those two were maybe, I don't know, if they were maybe not kills but instead assists. To try to push your lanes ahead, but it's still better than nothing. Oh, and we have wrong. The overview is also wrong.
The overview has not been changed by me. My apologies. I will do that while you can discuss the rest of the game.
I will try to cast as best as I can. Yes, we see in the bottom lane we have both supports and both ADCs with 1 assist. Xayah being dead behind, but still about almost 20 CS ahead. Mid lane, Irelia is doing very well. And in jungle we can see the impact of that early but delayed invade by Jarvan, as well as the bot side of the map from ADD, which left a really big dent in her CSing. She did get 1 kill, so it's not the end of the world, and now we see some fighting in the mid lane, but I don't think it's gonna amount to anything. And in the top lane, we can see that CS is pretty much...
We see a big fight in the top lane. The Cassio gets 1 kill. The Elise was enough to secure the second, and
we see a 1-1
is big.
That is big. I think that invade of Elise on her blue was really pivotal for the game. We'll see if...
Tarek with a stun.
Yeah, we'll see if ADD can...
some damage down. Yeah. A fight in the top jungle where Jarvan invaded and is gonna kill the Elise for a killing spree on the Jarvan.
Oh my god. Now that is disastrous for Elise, actually.
Yeah. So what are the consequences of this for the game?
I mean, it's not over yet. The goal is pretty even, and Troglodytes do have a Drake in their back pocket, so it's definitely not the end of the world. As we also discussed, the scaling really depends on which champions, which lanes get the advantage, get the kills, get the resources.
And we do not see as much attention in the bot lane as we thought we were gonna see, as we see a stun from...
It's been pretty much, pretty evenly disturbed in all lanes. And we do see Dutchy on his Elise really trying to fight back, claw back, despite that early death and the...
from Irelia. She's going in, has the 4 stacks. root from Nico hits, and that
No, that's not
pushes
gonna be
the
enough.
Nico back. Yeah.
Robin, sorry to cut you off. Any chance you can get the stream back on Sunday Cup?
Of course I can. Good that
Just
you
because
mentioned
so
it.
I'm
Wow.
not a 3-second delay because I've been
Yes.
noticing it slowly. Yeah, in the meanwhile, we do have a kill. I think ADD should just back off here. The Static ult is too strong.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we see a Fnatic push from ADD. Overall, the game state is pretty even, although we do see a 1k gold advantage engage from the Leona onto the Taric, who does
and this
survive
Taric
for
does
so
this.
long.
No, it is a
It's
dead
just not
Taric
enough.
without an ult. I mean, in some sense, got not wasted, but really effectively used for the previous skill.
There was a good gank by Jarvan, but
exactly.
he keeps on going.
Oh,
Caitlyn has to
does he
run.
get kill?
The red buff does give a slow,
and it's a
with
flash by Xayah to secure the kill.
Cho'Gath dropping really low. Yeah, and a lot of action around the map.
And the
we
question
see
is,
Jarvan
okay,
going bot. Top lane is really heavily contested. Now Jarvan is looking to secure the Drake.
Another thing that is interesting to see is like the ADD top and bot lane did secure a few tower plates so far, but in the mid lane there is a difference with Titas or Kriyanos getting 2 of them. So there is that advantage.
Yeah, and there's slowly a gold difference being built up as we see Jarvan in the lane, posing for a lane quite.
Yeah, exactly. We have this imbalance where okay, and we see them coming in, but this is gonna be enough.
Stun from Taric that keeps them from getting anything more. Yeah, Leona was also standing on a ward. They knew they were on a ward, but I feel like Leona went in a bit too fast and wasn't really able to.
Any chance you can show us the gold difference?
Yeah, of course. I can go back to the gold difference. There we go.
Okay, so see, yeah, we have a big difference in the bottom lane. We have a almost 1k gold advantage for Xayah. And the big ace
just going in.
Oh,
really
is this? No, this is really too greedy.
Trying...
Yes, yeah, no. Kriyanos is trying his hardest. You can see he's a bit over 1k ahead, and he
does get the
and he does get the kill.
He survives with his W.
And this is actually really big for troglodytes.
Yeah, for sure. We do see the Herald used by ADD in the top lane, but only the jungler will receive the gold because Cassio wasn't able to hit the turret before. So yeah, this Jarvan is getting really far ahead of the Elise, the priority pick, and it's gonna come down to how much this Jarvan can impact.
I mean, we can definitely see that ADD prepared for this game. Like they knew that Dutchy is gonna. I mean, they expected Dutchy to go for an early jungler, with the AP jungler trying to get the lanes ahead, get the mid ahead, which to some extent he did succeed. I mean, right now Kriyanos is really chilling in the mid lane. He just got a solo kill, and there's not, a single player, I think, on the AD team that can oppose him 1-1. But I think the early gank played a pivotal role, and maybe their plan of, playing for early game is not gonna be enough. Unless...
Shield from the ultimate.
Oh, and that
It's
was
not enough
clutch,
to
is it?
save
It's
her.
not enough. Oh, God.
It's really difficult for the
And
Nico
this
to do
should
anything
also
right
be
now.
a... Is that... Yeah, that should be
It's
a
a
dead.
nice disengage. A beautiful
Oh,
ultimate from the
and the
Xayah.
Taric
It's
ult
not
is
enough, and the
just
counter gank
too
from
slow.
Jarvan with a great ultimate securing the last kill.
Oh,
even in
and we have a top lane solo bolo again.
it looks like it's gonna be yeah, a solo carry for Titas if he wants to secure the victory
Exactly. But I mean, so far
here. It does go in.
we have
Come on,
Titas
Leona.
against Xayah and again the Snake Queen.
Cassiopeia.
But exactly. But besides that, I think it's been a really big matchup just between the both junglers. Who can get the upper hand? Who can come up with a better gank and so far and so on? And I think both
Yeah,
of
we
them...
saw a bit of an unfortunate timing. Irelia staying
Exactly.
in the bot lane,
Oh,
trying
and
to catch out the Titas.
that is... Oh, okay.
He overstepped, no vision, but that was really creative because you would not expect Irelia to still be
No.
here. Although she does loses a lot in mid lane. Elise is now gonna.
Oh, that was
That was a
the best
weird
goal.
ult. Elise can
Have another bot
definitely
team.
kill them. Irelia
Okay.
is keeping up the pressure.
Jarvan is trying to defend the bot tower. The question is this, and he gets out. That's pretty well played.
So now we see a fight in the top lane. Cassio, one level ahead. One for finished item versus Cho'Gath, who's trying to stay relevant, but
I mean, it's not completely over, but this Cassio definitely, like, she went a Rod of Ages, meaning she gets really tanky in exchange for late scaling and quite a bit of lack of damage, but considering their comp and the fact that they have no tanks, she can actually tank pretty well. So I think it's not a bad call, especially against
chasing. Keeps up the pressure,
Yeah.
but Cho'Gath will just run away. We did, in the meantime, see another Drake be taken by troglodytes, and this is all thanks to Titas being able to create so much pressure.
Yeah.
He also got the mid lane turret in a moment I wasn't paying attention, because overall it seems like troglodytes are losing. I mean, that ADD is winning overall, except in the mid lane. But because he's Aurelia and he's putting so much pressure down again, he just 3 shots the Nico almost. She gets out with a flash, ultimate been thrown out.
Ooh, and that's a really bad fight for ADD, sadly. I mean, the question in the end is, can they shut down this Aurelia?
Yeah, that's gonna be where all the focus will lie. Also,
and I think they do have enough hard CC with both Leona and Cassiopeia and the jungler to, just lock her down and not let her do any of the damage.
I also think personally that the Nico really has to be way more respectful. Because look, this Herald fight, it eventually gives them top lane turret almost with the TP. It's going to be defended, but there is so much pressure overall on the entire map just because they gave up this bad fight and were a bit disrespectful of the Aurelia. But on the other hand, like, she has so much range if you play it correctly.
I mean, we also have to keep in mind that, like, Aurelia is not just stacking kills on one laner. She's been all over the map, getting different kills, suppressing different lanes, and I think it's a real risk if they don't shut her down pretty soonish that the other lanes of troglodytes are gonna start slowly picking up despite being in a deficit so far. And then it starts getting scary for
We
it.
do see Harold securing the mid lane turret, and now Aurelia
And
is in a really bad
exactly-
situation.
and this
Nice
is
flash
exactly
out, and Jarvan gets away with the kill. The gold goes in onto the Xayah, which is the person that you really want
Exactly.
this gold on.
Yeah, and that is
Top lane.
exactly what you want from ADD, you know? Clamping down on Irelia, not letting her dominate the whole map, and still keeping pressure all around, because you do have advantages in both side lanes.
Mhm.
So it's, as long as Irelia isn't on the map, you can do stuff.
What
The
I've
only
also noticed in some exchanges here in top lane is that the choke-up does do a lot of damage, but when the fights take longer, then Cassio can just chip them down. The silence does so much, because as long as the silence is up, you cannot be stunned, so you can keep chasing, because that's one of the most dangerous things to do.
true. Yeah,
Look
but
into
I
the
think
eyes of the
that's
Snake Queen.
I think that's why the Age of the Rod of Ages was a really good call,
Nico, call out
and that
again.
might be a dead
Nice
Nico.
root.
That is
Yeah.
technical.
And here we see the damage that I was talking about, like short trades, and
Yes.
Timsy is doing a great job. Does get ulted now. Cassio getting the Conqueror on, but yeah, it's not enough for her to decide to keep chasing.
I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure about this matchup. I'm surprised.
Leona ganking.
Oh, and this is a dead Tinsy. This is a dead cockroach. Oh,
Kill
but
goes.
Leona picks up the kill, sadly.
Yeah, but you can see what he was trying
Yeah,
to
exactly.
do.
I mean, it's not definitely not bad, you know, push your advantages, that's the point. But now we see top tower also getting taken, and this Zaya is slowly getting scary.
But in the meantime, like for that kill on Cho'Gath, they do give up
Get
pressure
the
in the
third.
bot side of the jungle. But they go for a
But
sneaky
they go for a
Baron.
sneaky Baron. Now, if this, they have no idea.
No,
This,
there's no way they know.
the only thing that I'm scared about is, do we end up with a fight where Aurelia just takes away all of the buffs if they don't play it too smartly? Because that would be catastrophic for ADD.
Yeah. We don't want to see them giving up their Baron buffs. Buff for the third Drake, it's not the worst.
It's not the
but
worst, but it's also a bit late. I mean, sorry, a bit early, because the next Drake is gonna be spawning in 4 minutes, and unless ADD can do real damage with this buff, such as like pushing towers, getting some kills and picks, it doesn't mean much for that Drake fight that is kind of inevitable, you know?
yeah, it's gonna be up to ADD to really use this Baron
I mean,
buff.
they did get a
smartly.
exactly. They did get a really big gold infusion from it. Question is, can they push this
Yeah, right
gold?
now it doesn't seem like they're doing anything with it.
And that's what I'm worried about, because you
Nico
know,
is pushing in the bot lane, but she does not have any vision. Vision is all red team. And what more do you want from them right now with this Baron buff?
you know, just slowly push. Try to take a turret. Don't overextend, and preferably get a bigger lead, gold lead with some picks. Because at the moment, troglodytes, although they are a bit behind in gold, I mean 4K behind it's not a small deal, but it's, you know, not too much. Because they have soul point at the moment, and even if they lose a fight right now, unless
Yeah,
it's
Timsy cannot fight
Baron,
this anymore. He dies. But
we
also
have
Nico
a problem.
overextends.
Yeah, and here we see the power of this Irelia.
Beautiful ultimate to keep Aurelia at bay, and they get out. That was a beautiful disengage by Leona to keep Irelia from going any further. In the meantime, they are still pushing in the bot lane, the top lane.
Yeah, I
Elise
think
is
they have
here
to back
now.
down. They have to back down.
They might get collapsed. Tarek finding the Jarvan now. Stun does
Oof.
not connect.
This was scary.
Yeah, wow. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I saw the Nico pushing up in the bot lane. This
I mean, they didn't. They actually used their Baron buff pretty effectively, I would say. The whole situation considered, they did still stay up 4K. But I think we're gonna have a big fight around this next Drake.
yeah, you
And
can see it by Leona clearing out the vision now, securing some for themselves. But what I also saw was in the top lane, Cassio is super strong right now. She did finish her
oh, she is.
Rod of Ages, has the level up bonus. Also, Archangel Staff is completed. It didn't get upgraded yet, but yeah, the Cho'Gath cannot fight anymore because the burn damage is exactly what you need into a tank.
Yeah.
And Drake is gonna spawn in 1 minute. We see push for mid-wave control.
Though we do see both top laners having a TP open right now, and then we have a minute left. The scary
flash coming up almost.
The scary thing for AD is, blind checking without a proper tank into an Elise. And right now Elise does have the vision advantage. So let's see, can AD
get advantage? The TP in the mid lane?
Or the good fight?
Cassio stays top for the moment.
Cassio is still pushing, they're trying to... Okay, the Sun
does miss.
Yes.
They got baited by the clone of Nico. But they have...
At some point you have to send someone back to answer this Cassio. Otherwise you're losing an inhibitor. Or you just risk it for the soul and you're like, well, we lost the inhibitor, but we got the soul, and... okay, we see the TP now,
Is it too late? The Tarek ultimate does keep the front line safe, but there's no one in the pit. Nico gets taken down. Drake is dropping. They secure the soul. Nico did get Tarek in the end.
Can they kill? Oh,
continues really shredding through the backline, and that will be a triple kill. Is it a quadra? Will we see a penta? Leona running for her life, but there's nowhere to go. You cannot run from there. He's securing the kill, not to...
That's an ace for Troglodytes and a soul.
A soul, an ace, and all the bounties. I think with this fight, Troglodytes are in pole position to take
They are in a really commanding lead right now. There still is a bit of a gold disadvantage for them, but I think with this soul and everything, and this really bad Irelia, they should have no trouble taking advantage of the turrets that are still up on the side of ADD, as well as like abusing their jungle, taking their jungle camps and so on and so forth. And just getting ready for this Nash Baron, which maybe they will already start taking.
Cho'Gath does not have TP, neither does Cassiopeia. So if they do start Baron, it will be a 4v4. Vision has been cleared. Everyone is getting ready, getting into position. The flag will secure Vision. Baron is dropping. It's going down really, really fast. It's already at 4,000, and there is no way in. Maybe a clutch steal.
And we have...
The Baron is going down.
And it's stolen Baron. No, can they win this
Great
fight?
ultimate from
Can they
Jarvan.
win this fight? I don't think they can win it. But can it? No, Aurelia is just mopping the floor with them.
Yeah,
And
and it was a really good job
Uh,
by
it-
this fat Jarvan, but yeah, other than this, they couldn't really do anything.
it's a
Also
fair
with the
attempt
stall.
for the. And can they hold? It's really hard to say. If Troglodytes are playing safe, they will back off and. But I think they can. Nah, they can't end. I don't think they can end yet.
The Baron buff is still on Cassio since she wasn't in the fight. Neither of them could do much. Neither of top laners could influence this fight a lot, but yeah, the city Aurelia is so strong. 11 and 2, just almost
Well,
feels
we might have
impossible to keep
another issue, let's say, another chance for Troglodytes to win. Sorry, for ADD to win is if they can survive till Elder, get that fight off, get another steal, which unlikely, but let's hypothetically.
Yeah.
I think they're still not completely safe on the Troglodyte side.
Yeah, and how would you want to set up this fight as ADD?
As ADD, I think you simply have to stall and then make sure you get your vision there. We saw the last dragon fight. ADD didn't have the vision priority, and that cost them really dearly because you just have no idea where this Aurelia is. You have no idea where Elise is, and again, blind stepping into a bush where there might be an Elise or Tarek is scary.
Sure.
On the other hand, also,
Timsy is feeding himself though.
really going for it.
Cassio being such a slippery snake queen, he's getting caught out. An ultimate from Leona, but they will back off after seeing TP. That got cancelled? Was there a TP? Did I see this wrong? Maybe I saw it wrong.
Not wrong, no.
Yeah.
Happens.
We are still trying to figure out how we can.
I mean, the idea is right.
come
They're
out.
trying to go for picks, but I think it's just too early. I think you have to wait at least like 30 seconds till the Elder Dragon spawns and then try to get a pick, because otherwise it doesn't count for much, Try to get that pick and try to get a 5v4 fight on the Elder. That might be the best option that you can get.
Timsy hitting 2 Qs in a row, but now gets ult.
Scary.
Silence saving him for a long time as we see a fight in the bot jungle.
And
The
he gets
Tarek
the
ult
win.
has been blown. The silence again, but will it
Can
be
we
enough?
get it?
The burn,
enough,
no,
it's enough.
a kill for the Cassio, which will net them an advantage. Drake is up in 30 seconds. Timsy will not be part of it, but we're seeing Fnatic Death
And
Push
this gives
being set up.
yes, and this is the scary part. Do they?
They were on a ward!
Oh,
They were on
you.
a ward. Now they have to back off. How will ADD approach this? Cassio is
They just have to set up
lacking
vision.
behind.
They just have to set up vision and try and pray that they can win this fight. The scary thing is Timsy, although he's dead, does still have a TP. So if this fight goes on for too long,
Caitlyn ult for poke.
it might not be the best then. On the other hand, Tarek has no,
We're gonna see.
so they are free to take advantage and step into the Baron pit.
Both teams were looking at each
Now-
other menacingly. Aurelia did go
And
in
they-
with her ultimate, but
Okay.
she gets no CC change.
And
The-
this is Citizen.
But in the meantime, the Elder was secured, and yeah, this is just too much. They cannot.
Not enough.
No. Well, that was a quadra kill for the Aurelia as well. Complete ace. The Elder secured.
I mean, it's unfortunate, the early game really went into their advantage of the ADD, but then slowly, losing those drakes, maybe that was the biggest problem,
Not using
setting,
their advantages and
yeah,
not
and not setting up
having.
for drakes enough.
Yeah, and
And
that's again, it comes down to this Aurelia being such a strong source of pressure for the side of Troglodytes, and with that, they secure the first victory of the series.
that is GG.
We will be going into the post game, and we should see the stats and such. I don't know how that works. Maybe if I press some buttons here, something will happen. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, let me just go to this for now.
Fair enough.
Okay, wow, that was a great fight to end it off, and Aurelia was super strong. It was really nice to see her pop off so much. Any closing words for this game before we go into a 5-minute break?
Um, I think the mid matchup was the biggest problem, to be completely honest. The Nico just didn't work out. The Casio from the side of ADD was really interesting, and it did work out until Irelia was strong enough to simply affect the whole map and just bring advantage or share her advantage with the rest of the team. I
Mhm.
think on the side of ADD, their preparation for the jungle invade was really well played out. Um, but
Okay,
yeah,
well,
I
with that, I think we're going into a 5-minute break, and see you
see you
guys
guys.
on the other side once I figured out how this works.
Also correct
And
to
hello.
hello,
We
hello.
we are back. Does the stream hear us? Yes. Okay. So Troglodytes got their first victory.
Yep, they did.
Sure. We closely talked about what we wanted to see different, but how do you see ADD winning next game? Do you think it's possible?
I think it's definitely possible. Um, the least happiest I've been so far was with the middle and the top lane pick on their side.
Mhm.
I would have maybe been happier with Cassiopeia going mid actually, and then picking some sort of a tank or a split pusher in the top lane. So either a tank that can match uh Cho'Gath,
Mhm.
or a split pusher that also tries to create pressure for Teamsy on his Cho'Gath. And
You think we will see the Cho'Gath again from the side of ADD?
I think so. I think it's a
From
safe.
the Troglodyte, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, it's. I think it's a safe pick. Especially since we've seen the troglodytes are picking around, or they have their priorities around jungle and mid lane, as well
Mhm.
as the ADC role. So I won't be surprised if, again, the top lane is left on a bit of an island.
Mhm.
And in that case, I want EDD to either fully exploit that, go for a split pusher, something that can really solo kill Cho'Gath consistently, um, or give it a tank as well, but then give more priority to mid lane because this Nico just sadly didn't work.
Yeah, the Nico was indeed maybe not the best pick, but of course it's difficult into a really strong Irelia. I think we won't see the Irelia. I think that should be the biggest adaptation uh, from the side of from the side of ADD. Um, but then we will be uh, looking into what Titas can show us more. It
Exactly, and
did
that's
look like a bit of a 1v9, to be honest.
yes, and that's what I'm not scared for ADD, but I think Titas is a kind of a player that is hard to really ban out, um, and that's why I'm trying to say that, get a counter pick in mid, leave top on a tank on an island,
Mhm.
and maybe that works out because the jungle matchup worked greatly for them, to be honest. It was only the mid lane matchup that really brought them down. Like if this Aurelia didn't get that many kills early, and if it was a more, I don't know, a tougher matchup for her to play in the mid lane, then maybe ADD would pull it off, I would suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see in which directions their adaptations go.
So as an adaptation, we see that Troglodytes has decided to play. No, that ADD has decided to play a red side,
That's
which
interesting,
which
actually.
is a bit of a weird choice when it comes to side selection. But yeah, they must have been cooking up, and I'm ready to have some dinner. So let's
Let's see it.
see. Players are ready, I suppose. We're waiting for Timsy to start the game. Timsy, if you're watching, it's up to you. let's go. I hope that I fixed the VGUI or whatever it is called. We are slowly getting ready for Timsy. Any day now, Timsy. Yeah, so this is the first time that I'm working with this. Like I said earlier, the production team has done such a great job, and yeah, it does seem like I got almost everything working except for the we can ban or
Hey,
the score. The score. There's a chance, and I mean, wasn't on purpose, but there's a chance that I
ah, see, and then we have
deleted
it.
something wrong. I maybe just didn't. Maybe did it change now? No, it didn't. Well, looks like we're going into first game again. Uh,
Yeah, and
Usually,
there
this
it
is
is.
kind of the same mentality you have to have. Every game is a first game, even when you lost one. And yeah, there it is indeed. What can you tell us about the bands for now?
Oh, we can see ADD actually going for a bit more of a focused mid bans. They again went for the Maokai ban, and in response, I guess the Troglodytes did see that the Jarvan jungler was just too oppressive. So now, do we actually end up with an Elise
Yeah,
against?
it's at least against the Zek that we've talked about before first game, and yeah, that Jarvan was a big part of the early game for ADD. But they
Oh,
do decide that the Jarvan was a bigger problem than the Zek. Maybe because they think it's a better matchup into Elise. I don't know. What do you think?
I think Jarvan is just like, it's a coin flip basically, like which jungler can pull it off better. And they saw in the first game that they have enough of experience and enough of a pre-game prepared that Jarvan was really successful in shutting down Elise. So it makes sense to ban it.
And there we see the Heimerdinger coming out. The
Yeah.
Heimerdinger, which was banned in the previous pick and ban phase. They both teams decided to ban a champion of last game, being it Jarvan and Irelia, but the Irelia made it so that the
Now do we
Heimerdinger does come through now.
now do we see a support for AD? Do they answer it, or do they prefer a blind pick, but first pick for some other lane?
It does make sense to just pick your um, support, and it's a Lulu support.
So they are.
I'm not aware of the Lulu being a prevalent pick for
It's
the
it's not bad. We usually do see it with something like uh,
Zeri or Sivir or yeah, something attack based.
but it does make sense if they're going for more of a scaling comp, which we talked before. I think is more of their style. Now Zach, it's not bad into Liz. It's in any chance. It's also can do really good early ganks. But it's also way more useful in the late game.
So and now we see clearly both Troglodytes and ADD have a clear plan, being it they banned out two mid laners for the side of Troglodytes, but I do wonder why they would decide to ban out two mage mid laners since we already talked about it. Krinas is more of a
yeah, that is
AD mid lane champion pool, and with the Elise, it's for sure better to have an AD mid laner. So that's a bit of a question mark for me.
that is definitely a question mark that we'll see if it pays off, but I think it's definitely not the right call.
Well, the response is clear. It's a Yone mid lane and a Set top lane, two very AD heavy champions. Unless, and hear me out, there's a possibility that we see Heimerdinger either mid or top, Yone mid or top, and the Set
Hmm.
as the support.
I like your theory crafting, but I don't think it's what the team goes for. I think Troglodyte
Uh,
plan in mind. I think they're going for AP in jungle and support. And
that is a Swain top lane. Yeah, I think that's a Swain top lane. Vex uh, has been picked. I mean, uh, the score is 0-1, Terminator.
yeah, it's 0 to 1.
Troglodytes is winning, and if it depends on Fluffy, then Troglodytes will win both games, given the fact that Krinas has chosen to go for the Yone. Wow, interesting pick and bans. What do you think of the Swain top lane? What does that suggest to you?
I think, yeah. Well, they did show that with Gwen and Cassiopeia ban in top lane. They did try to get um, get Timsy a solid matchup. I'm not sure how Swain versus Seth goes. Mm, but I am happy to see it paired up with Zac, so at least they do have a legitimate tank as opposed to the last game, where we saw uh, both AP in the mid lane with the Nico and AP in top lane with Cassio, but no real tank. So I think this, in some sense, is better.
Mm,
I
but
am
it does
sure.
put a lot of pressure on Totti if I see it right, because that means that Totti does have to uh, come up with so much of the DPS in the later team fights. So with the dive potential that Team ADD has, I think it's gonna be difficult for Totti. Yeah?
Yes, indeed. I mean,
Let me put
unless
it this way: I would not want to be the AD carry in this game.
unless he can really spiral out of control, it's gonna be a hard game and not such a great lane, to be honest. Especially like if and I know Shuxi can be a really annoying Heimerdinger player. He also plays it quite regularly, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's pretty good at it.
So let's zoom out. We have ADG fighting for their lives against Troglodytes, fighting for their second win of the split. With this team fight heavy comp, a bit early game focused, if that's good for a way to put it, against Troglodytes, trying to secure their third victory of the season of the split. Who do you give the advantage to? Do you
I
think
mean,
will
just like
take
you
this
said,
one?
that you think that Kai'Sa is gonna struggle carrying the 80 damage. On the other hand, based on the first game, if they can again shut down Elise and the bot lane, um, they're the Crocodile side is also gonna lack a bit of magic damage, and I don't think so. So if Elise and Shuxi can be shut down, I don't think there is a big threat to the Zac being the tank that he is. Question is again, can Krianas just step in and again carry the whole game and just destroy the map? We will see.
Yes, indeed. So we're loading into the game. I did not change the team sides yet, and yeah, with the overlay, I messed something up again. My apologies. But we are loading into the game, and with troglodytes on blue side, and with 1 game to their name. There we go.
So, we are missing the overlay.
There we go. Now we should have it on. Let me know if. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So this game pause does give us the. Oh, and there we go. Yeah, never mind. No game pause. No time to get ready for it. Straight into the match we go.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And ADB with a score of 1-4. Like I said, this is the game to help them show that they do belong in that mid table. Oh, the game is blocking. That's maybe because of the game pause, and yeah, should be
Yes.
all right now.
We are back now.
Okay. Well,
So,
I will be showing the game in a second. I think everything is set up. Sound is.
Minions has
Did the
spawned.
sound die again? Is the sound good?
no, sound is good. Sound is good. We have everything.
Okay. Maybe the music is still playing. Is the music still playing? Probably.
No, we only have the in-game sounds. It's fine.
Okay. Well, to be sure, I'll.
Okay, so we see both junglers passing top, signing that it's gonna be a fight for either middle or bot lane, which does make sense. We've seen that that was the main factor in the last game.
Mm-hmm. This is something that we haven't talked about. The mid lane matchup. We see Vex into Yone. How do you see this one going?
Knowing Titus, I would really strongly suggest that the Vex plays safely and doesn't overextend until it's needed in fights. So simply doesn't give over kills to the Yone, you know, keep him starving till the fights really start to show up, and maybe that's the way to, you know, don't need to shut him down after he's already bad, just keep him even.
Yeah, we see a bit of trading going back and forth. Nothing too spicy or special going on.
Well, top lane is...
Troglodytes do have the push in almost every lane.
Yeah, but
Seems
top
dropping
lane,
low.
top lane Kula 9 is actually winning the trade. So if Teams is not careful, he might actually die or will be forced to back.
Nice E by the Swain to get even more chip damage, but yeah, Timsy will have to be a bit careful, but he does have the sustain of a set, of course. Klinas, wow, I'm changing those two in my head now. He is trading really harshly. Yeah. A nice 1v1. Yeah.
And we can see both junglers fighting for the scuttle, which Elise did win. Hopefully the AD bot lane is gonna play more careful now.
This looks like a way more fun game to play for the mid laner, for Vex. I think that was a really good pick into the set.
Definitely.
Grab
And
by...
no, it's
Flash. No,
That was
no
scary
kill.
for both sides.
Yeah, that was very well played. Timsy really playing with the blinking health bars. Elise ganking in the bot lane. She's trying to get lane gank off. There is a ward in that bush. I don't know if it's spotted her, but regardless, yeah, now she will. Oh, flash!
but flash
Cocoon!
and it's not enough.
It's not. It's a lot of damage, but more than chip damage is not.
I mean, it
they're gonna
definitely
get
is.
here.
It's definitely worth it. She creates so much pressure for the bot lane now because they can't back off with such a big wave. Neither can they fight it. But I guess the Paradise bot lane is just heading off for an early reset, and so is the ADD, smartly enough.
Yeah, it's just funny to see both top laners going back and then TPing into the lane to just hit each other a bit more. Zac did counter invade, and we do see a fight. Zac might have overextended. He jumps out, but did he jump far enough? In the meantime, Tita's still pushing and the wave under, but paying with his health bar. He has to back now. Sculler did go into advantage of the Zac, and a small invade. Elise grabbing the Raptors. Zac is careful, will stay out of vision. We'll now check and see that Elise is taking the Raptors, but it's a little too late. And a nice engage from the Swain. He uses his ult. Timsy not level 5 yet. Nice root, nice everything. And that's a
Oh
kill.
my god, yes. That is really well played by Swain. And I have to say this Vex pick in mid is also paying off really well. She's like staying neutral with the Yone, not letting him take over the game.
It seems
So-
like she has more sustain in a sense. No?
Exactly, yeah.
She has a better way to deal with the constant pressure that Titas is trying to provide. And that should result in more pressure towards the dragons. And Zac did look for a gank. But yeah, this is the dragon pressure that we talked about earlier as well, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. Although we see one major difference in spells. In the mid lane, we see Vex with the Ignite, as opposed to the Yone with
Zac ganking in the bot lane.
Gank.
Counter gank by Elise. He did not expect it and he just gets blown up. Bot lane keeps on trading for ADD. But that just drops the Zac. They keep on chasing, but it doesn't look like there's much more than poke damage done. And that was a really nice try by the Zac, but very good counter gank by the Elise to be there in the right place in the right time to shut the Zac gank down.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing a really nice debut from the Pistolholic, to be completely honest. We weren't sure when we talked about it how he's gonna play it, but he's holding up so far.
Gank, another gank by Elise onto the Vex. Vex does have so much power to stay alive by this really good gank. In the meantime, Zac in the top lane they're fighting. Timsy is getting his shields on time, but another grab and he's still in the ultimate. There's no way for Swain to pop it again. He did keep it for a long time, but this set is gonna get out. Wow, there was a lot of series of events. We do see Zac in the mid lane, ready for a counter kick, but he is a little too late. He does get the jump on the Yone, but Yone is gone. And yeah, Vex falls. What do we think?
Well, that was just the result of the previous Elise gank, where Vex had to spend her flash. She might have survived that gank, and they could have maybe won, but that flash difference was, I think, all that mattered in that place. And
Yeah.
now we see some fighting in the top lane. Is this the smartest by Timsy? I don't think so, because he's losing a lot of the wave.
He's
Uh,
not getting anything out of it. I mean, Swain will
Exactly.
just still back Yone, continuing to try to trade. And yeah, Meister Fluffy says that Vex is supposed to be a counter, but I see 12 million difference and 1 kill difference. So is it really that good of a counter?
I mean, to be fair to the Vex, there's also the TP difference, which means Yone, despite all the pressure, is also still available to, or still able to get more minions off. And
Nice
I think the
lane
bot-
gang by Zack. The Heimerdinger does get
Oh no.
knocked out. The stun was dodged, and that's just an easy pickup. A double kill in the bot lane for Kai'Sa.
And that was perfectly played, and you can see that this time actually Zack outplayed the Elise. You can see that Elise still tried to show up,
She
She-
does catch out the Lulu, but she has to disengage now.
but
Zack
she
did
she knew.
jump in.
Do we see a fight now? Oh, this Yone is scary though.
Elise does get out. Vex ult does hit. What goes up must come down, and she
Yeah.
just gets destroyed. This is first Drake potentially for the side of ADB, which is at 11 minutes. This is a very late first Drake. They will take it out.
But
yeah.
Can they? Thank God. They got it. No, but I think this is really well played by ADD. They saw on the opportunity. They saw that Elise was really late to the counter gank. Um,
That's
although
going in, getting the face breaker,
It-
but
it's gonna work
now
out.
is in a 1v1. He just ults the Kai'Sa back with the help of Heimer. They might get enough damage, but no, the Kai'Sa makes it out. And Zack comes in for the counter gank, but they are fighting in the turrets of Heimerdinger. They both have to get out there, and there's no kills to be had.
yeah, but meanwhile, the Swain top lane is just getting the plates, getting the CS. So this gank, I guess, by Timsy really didn't pay off. It was a bit of a delay for the Zac, but again, Zac beautifully played that last gank. He showed up again. This time he was in the bot lane sooner than the Elise. Outplayed, got a 2-4-0, and the extended fight just didn't pay off for the Troglodytes.
Yeah, and that's where we see the power of the Zac pick that we talked about from the very beginning of the stream. It's a pick that we know is very good in the hands of Crocker. Another bit of fighting in the top lane, but nothing much happening from it.
Yeah, and the scary thing about Crocker is, I mean, about this Zac is who's gonna stop him, you know? The Zaya doesn't have HP damage. None of the AP champions have health-based damage, so it's gonna be
Seth
really.
continues fighting against this Swain, who has continuously proven that he cannot be killed by Seth, and there is no way for Seth to get out of the situation, and that will result in him dropping down. Klina still going for the heavy trades, but yeah, the Swain will indeed be a menace, especially after stuff like we saw earlier.
And it's especially interesting because they did, like, on the last two bans, they did ban out two top laners. But apparently Kula can just pick everything up and still play AP damage in the top lane and just win over any tank.
Who will stop them? That's the question. Because in the drafting phase, we talked about the biggest threat being this Kaisa. But yeah, I mean, the Kaisa isn't in any threat if the Zek just keeps everyone out.
True, yeah, no, it's as far as or as long as this Kaisa just gets to free hit champions, with her already first mythical item built, she's gonna be a menace slowly.
Yeah, exactly. And although she does have her first item and boots advantage, the Xayah
Yeah.
is fairly even in items. So maybe if we go into the gold difference, we will see that yeah, there's a 1k gold difference, and both of the AD carries are sitting on 1k gold to be spent. But Set again trying to fight this Swain again gets caught out. And it's like we see the same pattern over and over again, and we're not learning from the situation. But yeah, that's good for ADD, I guess.
I mean, I understand teams are trying to create more pressure on the map, but it's also just Teamsy style, you know.
That's true.
That's all I can say to it. You know,
He goes in.
he gets frustrated, and at some point is you just have to give up. You know, you have to understand that there's no other option for you than just stay under tower and accept that you cannot win the lane. And
Yeah. He is building Bork though, and the Swain just finished his Jack show. A gank by Elise. Did they overstay in bot lane? Probably they did. Just gets melted.
but
They still Zack again with the good counter gank. Maybe a bit of over investment by Troglodytes. Zack did go in too deep and is getting chopped down right now. Sai does get the kill, but Swain with the TP. Nice flash with the fullback feathers. Swain is not able to reach them, and with that amazing disengage by Biscuitaric, they do turn that gank into their favor.
no, that was definitely a win for Troglodytes, especially seeing how Teams is now able to push the top tower and just get basically the whole tower now. That is definitely a win for Troglodytes. Not to mention that they get to set up on the Drake first now, and I think that Drake is gonna be gone in a couple of seconds.
It's a first Drake though for the side of Troglodytes. They finally were able. No, wait, I'm mistaken. Who
Yeah, no, it's 1-1.
won the last game? Yeah, exactly. Whatever. A bit of trading going
It's
down by
Blue might be.
Hammerdinger. And yeah, seeing this fight in the bot lane, what do you expect to see furthermore along the game?
It just seemed a bit disorganized from the ADD side. It seemed good until Yon came in, and giving him 2 kills is definitely a bit scary. On some level it was just unlucky. On the other level, I don't know, maybe they could have communicated better how to do it, but you know, here we are. They are in a bit of a deficit now.
Here I am once again, feeling lost. Zack going on to the Heimerdinger, just getting caught
Yeah.
out. We could see the Xayah ultimate going out as well. And yeah, that was just a bit of an overstay. That is not a place where you want a face check, and a face check is definitely not a Zack.
Yeah, no, as far as drafting goes, I just think that this Zack is slowly gonna become a
Yeah. Trying to kite away, she's kiting really well, but yeah,
and
with
that's a really good
the
play.
stun from
This elite shouldn't be
Zack
able to do much. No.
Lulu did have to ult.
Oh, we
do
see
this
a...
Swain
Ooh.
there, Yone ulting as well. Swain does have enough sustain.
Oh my god.
Nice flashes across the board are enough for both of ADD members to get out. It's a close fight, but yeah, Yone will have to back up right now. And that was close, but in favor of Troglodytes.
Close but no
ADD.
cigar.
ADD. Starting to get tired. But here we are, guys. All for you. Hope you're enjoying the stream. It's a hard-fought battle. I do not see... it could still go either way, actually.
Yeah, and we see Elise actually going for the anti-heal item, so the Oblivion Orb, which makes some sense against the Zack, but
Also, Swain has a lot of sustain.
True, but it's...
And it did get buffed in patch 13.3
Yes,
or 4.
yes,
It did get buffed.
but
so
only for... But only for the items or the components and the whole item. So just the Oblivion Orb, I think it's the same.
Okay, now we're staying again. Double flash just by Yone showing up in the bot lane. They are safe, but yo, those are 2 flashes burnt.
I mean, but I think that's... Oh, okay, no.
Set can keep in the lane on the backs with Elise just securing the kill, but this does alleviate a lot of pressure for Swain to finally secure the top tower. And yeah, that's the action for now.
Yeah, you know, to be honest, the both flashes...
Yone underneath the turret, ults out, and Zack is not able to stop him. He just keeps on chasing though, and with the Elise coming in to try to save the Yone, we do see the counter gank, and there we see the passive getting popped. A TP by the Swain is enough to save him, but I think there you might have just seen the value of this Oblivion Orb that you were talking about.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. I still don't think it's paying off too much. Maybe later on, if they can still keep the same pressure. Though, to be honest to Elise, or to be fair to Elise, I mean, what else is she supposed to do? Her role is kind of falling off. She can't do much except for... oh, and we see another fight coming up.
Yeah, ult by Xayah to try to contain these champions, but they did get out running to the hills. They didn't have flash, so it would have been a good catch out, but this was all just to secure the Drake. Zack does pass by, has vision now, is gonna try to jump on the Elise. Elise getting her beating up a cocoon on the Vex. Vex getting caught out, and the pressure is enough to secure the second Drake for Troglodytes.
Yeah, that was a bit unlucky, but we did see both... Oh, do we see another fight now? He backed up. Okay, but we did see two teleports wasted, I mean not wasted, but used by Team Troglodyte, and the Team Zeus one actually got cancelled by the Swain. So that is one...
trying to survive, but
and now we have a shutdown on Yone. Now the question is, do they go for another crazy? No, they don't go for it. I was expecting another sneaky peeky Nash,
Sneaky.
but I guess it's not in the books.
Yeah, the sneaky was last game, with the Cassiopeia being locked in. That was
True.
the sneaky snaky.
Sneaky Snake.
Yes.
She wasn't that sneaky. She was more of a tank. Face me, fight me, man.
Well, now this game she's not here, so no sneaky barons, no snaky barons, no come at me, bro, barons either yet. But it will be the next point of contention, and we see some vision getting secured. Troglodytes having vision on the Baron. And how do they tackle this? How do you want them to play this out?
I think Swain, as soon as his TP comes up, he should start pushing bot lane for the ADD. Troglodytes, on the other hand, they have two options. You know, either they can both threaten the Nash as well as the dragon.
Zac jumping into the mid lane, missing his stun, but he does get the Xayah ult out, so Xayah
That-
will be way more vulnerable in the next fight.
Yes, and that's actually not that small of a deal, right? Because we have the next Drake coming up in how soon?
It's not on. No, usually it's on. It's supposed to be
Oh.
shown as we see Seth getting caught out by Swain and
Another
Zac. And yeah, he got killed. It was off screen. We didn't want to share this violence of Tipsy being bullied, so that's why we saved his face from it. Yeah, I will look quickly to help everyone show. No, that's not what I want. So yeah, there's in the meantime there's some fighting going on. No, not really. It's interface now.
But yeah, we have both teams trying to contest the vision. Both teams trying to get some vision both for Baron and for the upcoming Drake. And yeah, both fights. I mean, either way, it could be scary.
Yeah, and in the meantime, we did get up the timers, and it's
Great.
1 minute for Drake. How will they set up? Vision is secured in the Baron area.
Vision is
for
definitely
ADD.
at the moment in the advantage of ADD.
But that's actually a really nice thing for Elise. I just noticed she might get caught out, but no, it's the mid lane of Triplet that's getting caught out with a nice Zac engage again. The Heimerdinger ultimate turret does not keep him safe, and that was the power of this Zac, as we've seen time and time again.
The question is, do they contest the Drake or do they just leave it up? I'd say at the current money state, just leave it. Don't, especially with the vision advantage, don't risk it. Maybe threaten to take the Baron.
Yeah, go for
And
a
that
trade-off again. This
Yeah.
does seem like a better trade-off. They do have
also
vision.
it's a
Do you
scarier.
see it?
Exactly, it's a
They
scarier.
They think they're sneaking it, but there's a ward just outside the range of the.
No, can they win fight? Oh,
The guys are securing the break pile. The Baron is secured for Troglodytes. They do fight.
bad.
Swain is surviving for a long time due to Sonya. Elise in the back of the pit getting called out. They do win the fight, but that's just a one kill for a Baron, a kill and a Dragon. The
Oh,
TP out.
it's too
No,
strong.
he gets cancelled, so that will be 2 kills over to the side of ADD, but it's Baron for Troglodytes.
Well, it could have been worse for Troglodytes. At least they got the cash injection from it, and I think 3 members still have the Baron buff, but it
They
is
are pushing their
definitely.
advantage though.
Oh, they are definitely taking their
King's
advantage.
just getting blown up. He is not having the game that he had yesterday. Yesterday, what am I saying? Before today. But yeah, that was really well played and a hard pushing this advantage, even though they do not secure the Baron. But with a third kill, there's only Baron left on 2 members of Troglodytes. And how will they use this? What do you expect?
I think it's really scary to try to push in, especially as the HD is earlier on the map, especially their support, which can provide enough vision. And I think Troglodyte should just be happy with getting that sneaky Baron and avoiding the pressure for a minute. Try to scale up as much as possible, and then try to contest the next Drake, because I think that's gonna be the next point of contention. Can they
Yeah,
win the team fight? I'm not sure. If everything goes into their way, definitely yes. Um,
oh, Kaisa
unless
getting caught out. Two ultimates
oh,
in the zone.
and
Zylik
that
tried to turn it around, but he will have to just bounce his way out to safety because there was more help from the side of Troglodytes.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely one way to brute force it. Just take out the Kaisa, which is definitely the strongest member damage wise on the AD. Can they do
Swain
more
has not
with
died
it?
yet, I just saw. Oh, a nice dodge by Elise, but will it be enough? Another Zonias is set using his ultimate to get the Swain out of the face of his team. Elise does get big, grabbed back, and with a nice jump, Zack secures the kill onto the um, set.
And they keep
Zack
going.
keeps on chasing. He has his passive. Yone does get a nice ultimate off, but he pays for it with his life. And that is another 1-for-2. Now only Shuxi Heimerdinger left. Another jump in from Zack, and yeah, he can just keep on doing this. Swain having the turn damage, but turn has dropped. And will we see another engage from the Zack under turret?
I mean, at this point, they should definitely try to push for the inhibitor if they can get it in time, just so they can get more pressure on the map. And that
Drops low though.
this is scary.
Oof.
Oh, but they get away. And the inhibitor barely survives. Yeah, no, they have to back off and try to set up for the next Drake, because this is gonna be the big fight.
Yeah, Drake in 40 seconds. Everyone will be up for it though. Summoners are only flash for the Yone, but on the side of ADD we see flash for Kaisa. The flash for Swain might be up, but we've seen Set actually being really good at keeping the Swain out of the face of the team. What went wrong in that fight for Troglodytes?
I mean, at the end of it, the day, I think it's just the money difference. They didn't play particularly bad or well, but it's that tiny, 3-4K gold difference that it makes all the difference.
Yone going into
Now.
the back line, Vex missing her ultimate. Swain being in the middle of this bouncy castle to deal the damage. There's a lot of current damage and a great feather pullback, which makes it so that Kaisa does
Kaisa
get
is
one
insane.
back. Yeah, Kaisa gets one back, but Kaisa indeed does arrive, and she is here to clean up the kills, and that gives them 2-kill advantage. No, it actually makes it 3 for 3 on both sides. Yone keeping the pressure up and trying to get the mid lane inhibitor, but that's soul point for ADD.
Exactly. And on the
Well,
second part, I think we should expect is gonna be around the match. Can either team get a clean fight, get it? Because if you get it, I think it's game over with a sweep.
yeah, exactly. I think this game is on a knife's edge now, and both mid inhibitors turrets are open. Baron is the only objective available for both teams, and we do see both of them running towards it.
I mean, I would expect ADD to definitely try to get a vision on it, but I wouldn't count them in to try and fight around because if they lose, they are out. Whereas troglodytes can afford that loss. You know, they can be like, oh, you know, whatever, we're behind. Let's go for this Hail Mary. If we get it off, we win. If not, there's another game waiting for us.
Yeah,
The threat-
what we do see though, and it's something that I want to point out is it's been a lot of skirmishing here and there, but the one big victor out of all of these skirmishes, actually two big victors, but the one thing is this Kaisa is super strong. She's 12 kills. She has 4 items and a stopwatch, which she might have to use now. Yone in the mid lane, ganking, ulting as well, and everyone does seem to get out. Set does grab the sack, but it's not enough to secure any kind of kill. Yone keeps going. Doesn't have his ultimate though. Snaps back. Set's trying to really put the hammer down. Troglodytes do feel that they have the health advantage, but the blinking health bars are not enough. Kaisa did have to retreat, and that's enough for Troglodytes to start back.
Indeed. The question is, can they get back fast enough? And I don't think they can.
Trying to get in. Does go into passive form, but will just be taken out. It's a clean Baron, clean fight.
Valiant tries, to be honest.
Yeah, but do you have to go for it? Do you have to go to try to go for the steal?
I mean, best case scenario, you should have just prepared better and have that fight that just happened be a bit more composed because you are trying to go for, you know, a bit of a front to back, or I mean, sorry, back to front with Kaisa. But I guess the Yona and Elise were just too disruptive.
Yeah,
Is it over?
it's kind of a thing. The case, will Elise and Yone be able to get into the background, in the
Yeah.
back, in the background? That's not the right word. Whatever.
On the back lane,
Back lane, yeah, the back lane,
Yeah.
back lane. Oof. But okay, so Troglodytes now with the Baron will set up Drake, and we might be in for a 6th Drake. What do you think of the usage of this Baron buff?
I mean, they're doing the best they can. You can't really do much since most of the outer turrets as well as the middle turrets are taken, and you simply, you know, if you push too far and you lose the fight, there's your Drake gone, there's your inhibitor gone, so they can't afford
Zach
that.
face checking the Titas Yone, but the Kai'Sa did get into range. Vex with a beautiful ultimate, trying to get into the backline as well, but Saya being untouched gets to just throw down the Feather Storm, and with the Feather pullback, just get deleted from the map. This gives them full priority. Drake is up in 6 seconds, but they've decided to go for the end of the game.
I mean, they still have, surely they have enough on the Baron, at least to take the inhibitor. If not,
So we get ready
and-
for the end fight, potentially. Seth does go tower diving with Yone going onto the backline. Swain now trying to just clear the wave with his ultimate. Elise does drop a really nice cocoon. Blue ult to protect him, and they clear the wave, and now, yeah, Troglodytes will have to back off and go towards, Kai'Sa.
Yeah, they get the Drake pretty freely, but they're still not out of the woods.
And that's gonna be the Drake soul
The-
point as well. Kai'Sa do. She went in a bit too deep, and they do take out the set though. Swain again with his ultimate, and that grabs in 2 members, taking even the guys, the Yone's Guardian Angel, and wow, with that fight, that was a bit overzealous of Troglodytes to try to fight this. ADD had reset, they did not have yet reset, and the gold is in ADD's advantage still.
I mean, at this point, it's almost like, does it even matter? Not really. It's more about who survives the fights, who gets the correct recalls, who kills before an objective is up, and do you risk trying to end the game? But smartly enough, AD is. Sorry.
No, you're right. Smartly enough.
No,
indeed.
smartly enough, AD is backing off. They still have a slight gold advantage. Kai'Sa is really powerful, and if they can win a team fight, then it's just done. Same for the other team, of course. But they do have the task of trying to shut down this really fat Kai'Sa that the whole team can build for, as opposed to the other team where the damage is way more evenly distributed.
Yes, indeed. And
I'm
if we look, no worries. But if we see in chat as well some praises going over to ADD for showing that they clearly improved a lot, and you know that this victory would mean a lot to them. And it is a really close fight. I can't imagine how exhilarating this must be. And Troglodytes going for another death push. They're just waiting for Baron to spawn.
I mean, we
get
know
it.
how fast Baron can be, so AD must be really, really fast.
Yeah, and the set keeping out everyone of the Baron pit, he does drop for it. Vex did get an ultimate off, but might be a bit out of position now. Yone going into the backline now gets taken out. Kai'Sa, Xayah dropping all the feathers, but Swain sustaining through all this. Elise now trying to take out the Vex, but Vex will get the kill. Swain didn't manage to secure the kill onto Xayah, and with that, it's only two people surviving with Baron again, and we see repeats of what we've seen earlier, where ADD wins the fight, but it was a close one again.
Hmm.
Wow, and all these really tough fights. It's such a back and forth, and it's never clear who will win. It's so chaotic. Everyone is just jumping and going in on each other. Whew.
No, you can see that both teams really are trying their best, and that this win really means a lot to both teams. You know, on one side for Troglodytes to come back after that loss against the support difference team, as well as for ADD to just continue their winning streak, to continue their development. And yeah, I mean, this one is. I can't say yet because the split is gonna be pretty long, but I think it's gonna turn into an important match at the end of the day.
Oh, my apologies for the screen. Um, okay, it's indeed, and this is an important match for both teams, but this is gonna be a really important team fight. Hammerdinger has set up some of the traps. Vex does ult in. Elise immediately jumping up, and Yone flanking with a beautiful ultimate, but it does not do enough. Even though Kaisa has dropped Vex, try to fight the Yone. Yone now securing the kill onto Vex and keeping the pressure on the Lulu. She might just survive with the snapback, but King Dimsy with the backdoor. While all of this was going on, he just goes in for the last hit, and he secures the victory for Troglodytes, and with that we have a 2-0, and a final battle has been decided. Wow, what a way to end it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, respect to both the teams. Like this was a fight till the end.
Ooh. Yeah, exactly. Wow, I'm a bit out of breath with all of this going on, and yeah, we see the post game. I'm sorry, but it's not working properly, and I don't have the skills myself. But maybe we'll fix it up. We will be discussing this game in a bit, and I'll try to see if this is working. Kinda, but yeah, let's just keep it here. Um, and it is, oh, the score is wrong as well. I will change the score, and in the meantime, I will also look to grab our first interview. And Rox, you can take the interview away. Titas
Oh
is
yeah, sure.
ready for it.
Oh, hello, Titus.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine, to be honest. Really good. That last game had some doubts, but we managed to make it.
No, we definitely saw it. Like it was a really close matchup, especially the second game. Um, both games we saw that you played a really important role in getting the team that, last push to the victory. Uh, Tell me a bit, maybe what your team's thoughts were on drafting, and so on for the beginning.
I mean, for the beginning, Seep, our jungle, right now is like role swap to jungle.
Yeah.
He had a plan, what to pick in jungle, and then I just said I can play mid, so you can like easily like try because I'm like playing last series, every game I played strong side top, and it's like maybe harder to gank top, but it's easier at mid. And then I said, okay, I'll go mid, and then I just adapted to his pick. He said that he's like comfortable on a list, and I said, okay, we need AD. And first game when I picked Irelia, I wanted to go Yone, but I didn't had it, so I picked Irelia because it was the only AD I had in mid, except Tristana too. But then I bought the Yone, and then I don't know why, but Teamsy bought me this Dawbringer Yone skin. I was like, yo, Teamsy, you're like rich or what? And he just became my sugar daddy, and then I just played Yone, and it was good.
Oh, Timsy is a legend, that's for sure. Well, Titas, yeah, we did see your Yone in the second game, but yeah, your first stomp with Aurelia showed your strength. Did you feel it like it was a bit of a 1v9 game?
Yeah, it did in couple matches, in like couple fights, I would say. Because like even like that last fight on the Elder Drake, I think like they used almost everything on me, and then I just like pressed Zonias. That item definitely is not broken. I pressed Zonias, I took no damage, and then they didn't have any spells, and then I just one-shotted them.
Yeah, of course. One last question for you before we get into Sibu as well, Dutchy, to represent your team a bit more. Um, uh, Last question is Titas.
Yeah.
You're dropping to sub. You will be
Uh,
joining another team. We've heard.
it will be delayed, to be honest, because it was like confirmed that I was like moving to
Mhm.
other team, but that team like two players left, so we're like still looking for like couple games. I'll probably be maybe 1 or 2 weeks more. We will see. How fast
Mm,
can I find my other team. But
mm.
I said, if you need my help, like win some more games, just call me up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if we see you less, you will definitely be missed for sure. Um, and yeah, wish you good luck.
Thank
Yeah, good luck on your journeys, and thanks for playing.
Thank you too for casting. Good
Uh,
casting.
of
Thanks.
course. Duh. Ooh, uh, so voila, that was Titas's word, but we also have the jungler here before we move on to ADD. By the way, ADD, if you wanna let me know who will be in for the interview, you can just text me or tag me somewhere, and I'll check it out. But yeah, for now, Sibe, welcome to the stream, welcome to the
Thank you,
cast.
thank you.
Uh, yeah, you know your way around here, of course, as you casted yesterday, but
It-
it's something else playing, isn't it? Isn't it?
Playing is totally different. The adrenaline's different. Your energy is different. You feel a lot more nervous, of course. It just gives you that adrenaline rush. Yeah.
Yeah. So, hard fought match. What would you like to say to your opponents?
I mean, just well played in general. They gave us a real fight. We had to get creative with macro. We had to actually focus on map bombs because we got caught a lot. And yeah, I don't know. I felt kind of I was underwhelming because their jungler just matched me really well, knew what I was doing, so it was a bit of a challenge to play.
Yeah, it was a difficult matchup. Where did the decision to let the Zek come from? Was
Ego.
it
It was pure
ego?
ego.
I
I
knew it.
so
That's what I meant to know.
so no. The main idea is that we don't really play a lot of mobile champions as AD carry and support, and
Mhm.
like Jarvan ult is not something you can get out of unless you have flash or unless you're Kaden with an E, and it gets a bit hectic with champion, and it's honestly too broken to play. I'd rather play against a Zac, which well, in the later fights was useful, but a Jarvan would have probably just ended the game for us right there.
Okay, well, that's a nice assessment. Who do you think was player of the team, player
I
of the
mean,
series for you?
Tita's really popped off, but we had like our AD carry in the second game really stepped up. I think in that last game, it was just a lot that, especially in the last two fights, we were on one page with what we were doing. And when that finally happened, the team worked really well together. And well, Titas just has a broken champion both games, right? So you have to give him MVP.
Yeah, of course, and the not broken Zanios.
Oh yeah, as long as it's totally balanced, buy it more. I want to see it in my solo queue games more, please. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then one last question about your team. Today was with a last minute sub in Biscatolik. Um, how was it playing with it? This was the first time he was playing with you, or no?
No, he subbed in as support before, and we knew he played AD carry, and like we haven't practiced with him AD carry, so it meant that we just have to play probably what's best in the game at the moment, and of course bot centric gameplay is well key. So when he said I want to pick Caitlyn here in the first game, we were really happy. And when he said he wanted to play Zaya, we kind of forced it on him, but we were really happy. Um, so I mean, it was just a last minute sub, and I don't think we needed really any time to gel as a team.
Mhm. Yeah, well, that's a really good assessment, and that's nice to hear as well. Of course, that you get along with the team, uh, so flexible as well. Yeah, so this was your game win that puts you on 3-3 in the standings, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to next week. You'll be facing off against Anna. How are you
Um,
feeling about that?
we're really excited. When we looked at schedule, we realized that we faced kind of the teams above us a lot already. Um, so we were kind of a little bit disappointed about the 2 and 3 start, but of course we know we still have a relatively weaker schedule ahead of us. We're just ready for next week, and we keep innovating, so we're fine.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on. Rox, do you have any questions?
Uh, I mean, I can only congratulate you for playing so well. And hope to see you in the future.
Yeah, I'll definitely be showing up more. I tend to stick around a bit.
Awesome.
That's good to
Very
hear.
well. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, wow. We're gonna have one final interview with Kroker. He just joined us as well. Kroker, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Heartbreaking, man.
Yeah,
Honestly, the
yeah.
the going for the turret while everyone is setting up for this big important team fight. How is the team atmosphere now?
I mean, most of the team went to have dinner because we didn't eat yet, but so we didn't speak yet. Of course, we're disappointed. But I mean, we'll get back, I guess.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, like we keep mentioning it, there's a lot of improvement. I am still so sad that we didn't see you guys win last weekend. Um, so since we missed that, can you talk us through how you secured a victory against MFF?
Oh, well, I can't, honestly, I would need to watch those games again because I don't even remember what I played. But, uh, I think MFF. Well, I think we just improved our macro a lot. It's still very how do we say rusty,
Mm,
but um, but definitely a lot of improvement there. Um, and I mean, we learned how to play. I think we learned a lot since the beginning how to play weak side and strong side, and I think that's very important. That's we can respect that one side will be weak because I will not participate as much there. And so we learn to respect the rotations and
mm.
a lot of other stuff, and we have really a lot better communication now, at
Yeah,
least compared to the beginning.
that's so great to hear, actually. Now, I wanted to talk about this pick, the Zek pick. We talked about it with
Hmm.
the enemies, troglodytes, that they let it through in the second game. Were you surprised? Did you?
Yes, yes, yes. I was, I'm so tilted, you don't know.
Why?
I was very surprised. I almost felt a bit disrespected. And, joking, joking, of course, but, but I mean, that's what at least is one of the toughest matchups for Zach. But I mean, it's my OTP, so I would play him any matchup. I know how to play him against every champion. Um,
Yeah, and that was really clear to see. I mean, you were showing up in every lane out of every possible corner. Yeah, that was a really nice Zach play that we saw there.
Actually, I think my Zach was so terrible this game. I fully take responsibility for this game because I mean I was because I'm the shot caller of the team, right? So
Mhm.
what usually happens is that my at least is how I feel, my gameplay like on the micro level doesn't match what I usually am able to do because I'm trying to micromanage everything on the map. Uh,
Yes, yes, yes.
So it ends up that I miss a lot of skill shots. Because I'm while I'm trying to fight, I'm trying to watch my teammates and the enemy team where they are. How I'm always shot calling even during fights. Um,
Did you see the backdoor coming from
yeah, yeah, I saw
your
it. I
side?
saw it since the beginning, but I mean, we were late to react. I mean, now I know how why that went wrong there. Because I mean, our problem there is that we delayed too much our recall from top lane, which was Swain. I'm not saying what is his fault; it was a team call, but uh, we delayed too much because what happened is that he ended up using TP to come to Drake. So when what we should have done is he should have based, he should have pushed the mid wave, and in case a fight broke out, he could have TP'd.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, we saw it since the beginning, but we decided. I mean, we were stuck in the fights, kind of. So we
Yeah,
decided,
and
okay,
also it was Drake's soul, so it was a
yeah,
really important fight.
but
I could see why you chose to do what you did, and I think
yeah,
it's a great call from Troglodytes then to continue fighting. And yeah, but again, I said it in the beginning, heartbreaking to see such a close series come to such a
yeah. I mean,
harsh end.
when I saw the set, because I saw sets even before he was hitting the inhibitor.
Mm.
Um, and we called for set. We knew he was there, but as soon as I saw him there, I knew the game was basically over. And
Um,
our only chance there was to win the fight so hard and so fast that we could recall.
yeah.
That was how I saw the situation then. When well, I didn't try to recall, but I was telling the team I have no way to stop this guy. I mean, I'm a Zach. He'll just ignore me and hit the turrets, and it's what he did. But yeah. I
Uh,
think we need to give a lot more attention to our lane priors before objectives. We're missing a bit on that. We
yeah,
let,
but that's a clear goal to work on then. No.
yeah, of course, yes,
So next week you're playing against Team Mental Papier. Uh, they are currently third, are tied for third in the standings. How do you will you prepare something like special for them, or are you just gonna stick with your own game plans?
yeah. I think we're most probably gonna stick with our plan. Um, I'm saying this because to be honest, I haven't watched any game from them. Uh, well, I'll probably check a few things and maybe even watch a game or two before we play. But well, unless we see any reason to change anything, we'll just keep doing what we're doing. Because I mean, I don't think the problem is um, like team comp or anything. I think we have pretty good team comps. We're just uh, trolling a lot in several stages of the game. Um, but well, it is what it is. I mean, I think both of these games that we lost, we should have won any of them
Yeah,
because we
it was a bit close.
I'm pretty sure that we were ahead in both of them. Um, and well, the first game was harder actually because they have a very fast rally, right?
Mm.
We did
Yeah,
we
the first game, what was hard about it from our perspective, it was the fact that the pressure came from mid, and the Aurelia could, through mid, control the rest of the map. I think that was the biggest
Yeah, I mean,
difficulty.
I think we had, well, first of all, it's really bad when you have one really fed member, which was what happened.
Mm.
Because I mean, it's always better to have one super giga fed member than have the gold distributed by the team. Because you saw what happened, we simply couldn't kill her.
Yeah, yeah.
She was too ahead of anyone. So I mean, that was a big problem. So even though we were ahead in gold, I'm pretty sure we were. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure we were. She had too much gold on herself, so and we also didn't build correctly for that game. But yeah, the first game was harder, even though I think, I mean, she only got fed. It's not even because of she winning mid lane, but we as a team in general we disrespected her a lot, and she started
Mm.
picking up shutdowns and kills here and there. I mean, sure, she was ahead in mid, very ahead, but if we played it right, we actually had a good team to deal with her.
Yeah, exactly. Rox, is there anything you would like to add to the
I mean,
conversation?
I can, I haven't watched too many of your games, besides the first two, and now watching this one, I can definitely see a difference. I would especially like to congratulate you on that first first game, which, as you talked about, didn't go too well, but that whole puzzle piece of invading Elise early,
Oh yeah.
which we didn't see too much on the stream because we had some technical difficulties, but
Oh
that turned out great. So congratulations for that.
yeah.
And in general, I think you guys really played well. I mean, we did complain about some drafting, but it wasn't anything catastrophic. We really liked the Vex second game
Hmm.
that could match up with the Yone and keep him at bay, so he didn't get as fed as Irelia.
Yeah.
But in general, I thought
You should have
like
won. You
yeah,
could have won.
exactly.
Oh,
I mean, you were, as you said, you were ahead, not as much in the first game, but in the second game, definitely you were quite ahead in gold.
Yeah.
Um, I think it just comes to those small things that you still need to work on. But in
Yeah.
general, seeing the difference that you've made from the first week till now as a team is insane.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we're a lot better, without a doubt. I don't even
Yeah.
think we lost this game because of macro. I mean, we of course we didn't have perfect macro, far from it.
No,
But
no, no.
I
Sorry.
think
That's what.
we, yeah, yeah. I know it's not what you meant, but I mean, I really think, really think that we lost, especially the second game, but also the first, um, on execution, team fight execution. We played so bad, especially me. Um, for real. I mean, I could have ended any of the fights we took if I played half decently. But I mean, I missed everything, and in several fights I died without even ult. So yeah, the team fights was really bad execution from me.
I mean,
Mm.
I don't think you should beat yourself up that much because you definitely carried both early games to mid game. And as far as macro execution and stuff like that goes, we both talked about it as casters, and we both said for most of the time of both games, like this is on knife's edge. Like it can go one or the other way,
Yeah.
and sadly, both times you guys, you know,
Yeah,
small.
I've been casting. Like I was trying to focus a bit on shoutcasting. I was exhausted by all the fights happening. Like this ultimate and this fiesta. Wow. Oh. Anyway,
Yeah,
do you have any closing things that you would like to share, Kroker, before we move on?
Um. Well, I'd like to congratulate the enemy team, I guess, especially the mid lane. He really carried hard. Um. But yeah, I think we'll improve, and Um, um, I'll leave a tip. Don't leave my Zac open again, or maybe or maybe I won't play this bad. But yeah,
Maybe that's what it was. You just bait it by playing not good enough, so that they would think it's not an issue. So next time they will leave it open.
maybe that's a strategy.
That's its trend for sure. Well, thanks for coming on. We will be closing the stream for today. Thanks to everyone for watching. Hope you had a good time here. It was an entertaining match for us, so I hope it was for you as well. Next stream will be on Sunday. We will start off at 5:30 with some music, and then the game Supportive versus Schraubenziger for Ehre at around 6. And then after that game, we will jump straight into Aurora versus PhD. We are still looking for casters. If you're interested in casting on any of those games, let me know. Then Monday will be Premium Esports Gaming versus CBS Replay. And yeah, thank you to everyone for watching. And hope to see you then.